Let's get some prize picks in today, guys. Last night was a perfect way to end the week, not on the YouTube picks because you Darvish did sell, but so far we're 3-1. We're going to see what happens with this CS2 here. Hopefully they both cash and we at least get that 2x, but no, in the Discord, we did just cash just 38x last night, 125 into 4.7k. Zach Gallen was that last pitch. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw my video. And then we also had this other 4x. We needed Solar here for that 38x instead of the 4x. And same thing here, we needed Chapman. We got a 4x here instead of the 38x. But overall, it was a plus 34.7 unit day on Prizepicks. And that wiped out a lot of the losses from April. Because honestly, it's been a slow start to April. I'll say it straight up. I always have this Google Docs fully transparent in the description. So it kind of goes over every single day. Did we go up? Did we go down? Every single week, did we go up, did we go down, and then in general, just the cumulative profits over time. So this is a graph of how it looks. So you see, we do have downturns, but we do have upturns, and the upturns are way bigger than the downturns. And right now, we're actually in a bit of a downturn, so now's a good time to actually get into the Discord and ride the Discord on the way up. Overall, week 21 was plus 9.2 units on Prizepicks, plus 4 units on Underdog. So units is essentially what you're putting on every single bet. So for this specific example, with a $125 unit, if you just multiply that by the amount of units we won, which is 34.7, that's about 4k in profit just last night. Now, of course, the previous days were losing days, so it's not all profit within the week. So that's why it's a total of 9.2 units profit, but that's still 1.1k of profit in a single week. Of course, that's with a very high unit, but I've even done the math. And if you just had a $5 unit for all the time that you've been in the Discord since the beginning, which was November 20th, you'd be up 2.5k just off betting on sports. And that's if you don't scale your unit up. A lot of people do scale their units up to $10, $15, $20 eventually. And if you started with $20 per bet, for example, you'd be up over 10k just being in this Discord. And as of week 21, we're up 506.8 units. So that's the number you get here. 506.8 times 10 puts you at about 5k profits. So I hope that makes sense in terms of what a unit is and how units work in general. Now we do have negative weeks, so don't join in today and expect to just cash instantly first day because we play a high volume of 6 flexes like the ones I show in the video. But I win them often enough to the point where extremely profitable and I have not had a losing month. Yes, I have losing weeks. As you can see, week 20, week 18, we have way more winning weeks than losing weeks, and the winning weeks are way bigger than the losing weeks, but we do have losing weeks. And honestly, I kind of like to compare it to the stock market. If you take Google stock, for example, it doesn't just constantly go up. You could see it goes up, it goes down, and then it goes all the way back up to all-time highs. That's kind of how the Discord chart looks here. We're definitely going to be above this all-time high at 567 eventually. I don't know if it's going to be this week, I don't know if it's going to be next week, but I know as time goes on, this chart is just going to be higher and higher. So if you like what you see and you appreciate the transparency and want to actually start winning on Prizepicks or Underdog, whatever it may be, click the first link in the description. It's going to take you to the OddsJuice VIP. You can buy the Prizepicks package, the Underdog package, or the Prizepicks Plus Underdog package, which kind of has the best value. I know there's a lot of new viewers. I appreciate the support on the recent videos. I hope I've been helping you guys cash and kind of learn how the Prizepicks game works. And today we're going to be building a full 6 flex, hoping that this one cashes from last night. We'll see what happens once 1 p.m. rolls around. We'll get onto the board for today. I have a mix of MLB and CS2. And we're going to be building a slip very similar to the one I built in last night's video. We're going to start off with CS2 because it's less important. I want to get it out of the way. And we're just going to take 2 guys, like in last night's video, that are kind of overvalued compared to Underdog. So no way here on the under 16.5 map 1-2 headshots is the first pick. And then from the same game, since No Way plays on Imperial, he's against MIBR. We want to be taking the under on another guy from the same game. Because if these maps end up being shorter than expected, there's going to be less rounds, meaning there's going to be less opportunity for both these players within the same game to be getting a lot of kills. Because CS2 doesn't work like NBA or NHL, where there's a strict time limit per period or whatever it may be. You know, in NBA it's 12 minutes a quarter, in NHL it's 20 minutes per period. In CS2, you win by being the first to a certain number, and that number is 13 rounds. So if a map ends 13-1, for example, one team only wins 1 round, the other team wins 13 rounds. That means there's only 14 rounds in that particular game. That does not leave a lot of opportunity for kills. Every extra round is an opportunity for an extra 9 kills. So you're kind of hoping for games that are going to end earlier, allowing these guys to get less headshots. And the reason we're taking these guys is because we're getting some value in comparison to Underdog. We see Exit at 14.5 on Prizepicks. On Underdog, he's set at 14. So on Underdog, we would push if he gets exactly 14, but on Prizepicks, we actually win this prop if he gets exactly 14. And on No Way, we're actually getting way more value. He's set at 15 on Underdog. On Prizepicks, he's set at 16.5. So 1.5 headshots of value there. Very simple concept for CS2. You don't really have to know much more than that. So we're going to go to MLB to end it all off. And we're going to be taking just a triple stack with 1 positive expected value play. And I'm going to be explaining what that all means throughout the slip creation. So we're going to start it off with the Arizona Diamondbacks and make a triple stack. So the first pick, I'm taking is Blaze Alexander on his over half a total base. We're going to be stacking this up with 2 more players from the Diamondbacks. We're going to go with Christian Walker on his over 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. Then we're going to take a demon prop on Gurriel here on his over half a run. So how does this make sense? If we go and check the MLB lineups, we see that in the expected lineup, Gurriel is expected to bat third. Walker is expected to bat right behind him at the 4th position. And then Blaze Alexander all the way at 9. Now the thing is, if Arizona is doing very well and all these guys are getting a lot of at-bats, they're getting a lot of hits and runs, Blaze Alexander has another chance to get that extra at-bat. Normally the guys at the end of the batting lineup get less at-bats if there's not a lot of hits in a specific game. So since we're going for Christian Walker hits, runs, RBIs, we're going for Gurriel runs, we're expecting Diamondbacks to be scoring a lot of runs and getting through the rotations more often. So if Blaze Alexander ends up getting an extra at-bat than usual, he has a higher chance of hitting his over half a total base because he's getting that extra at-bat, which gives him another opportunity to get a hit. Now, on top of this, Christian Walker sits behind Gurriel inside of the lineup. So if Gurriel's on base, for example, maybe first or second base, he doubles. Christian Walker could easily run Gurriel in because Gurriel's already on a base, and Walker could get a hit and RBI within a single hit if Walker singles, for example, and Gurriel ends up on home base. So that would clear the runs demon, and it would also clear Christian Walker's hits, runs, RBI. And if that specific case doesn't happen, it doesn't really matter. As long as these guys are getting hits in general, like I said, they're going to get extra at-bats, allowing more opportunity for everyone to cash on their specific offensive props. And if we go and check this Diamondbacks game here versus the Cubs, we see the Diamondbacks line is set at 4.5, which means it's expecting about 4 to 5 runs on average for the Diamondbacks tonight. And of course, they're the favorite here at minus 150. Hopefully, they're going on very good runs and looping through these players. On top of that, there is nice juice on all these players here. So if we go and check Blaze Alexander's total bases prop, we're on Pinnacle right now. This is known to be the sharpest sportsbook, basically known to have the best prediction models on what is going to happen within a specific game. So if you've never used a sportsbook and you don't know what American odds are, essentially the higher the minus line, the more likely it is for something to happen. So you can see his over half total base is set at minus 130. His under is set at minus 102. So what that means, if I want to play his over total bases prop, I have to put down $130 to get back $100 in profit. But if I want to take his under, I have to bet less to get the same exact win. So why is that? Because they know that the over total bases is more likely to happen. So they're saying I have to spend more money to get the same reward as the under half total bases, because the under half total bases is less likely to happen. So essentially the over half total bases is a more favorable outcome. And we can actually calculate what these numbers mean. So it's unintuitive to kind of see minus 130, minus 102. But if we go and check a calculator and put these numbers in, minus 130 to minus 102, we could convert these numbers into actual percentages. So the minus 130 essentially means that there's a 53% chance that he goes over his half a total base and a 47% chance that he goes under his half a total base. So it doesn't seem like it's a lot, but that's a big difference. If you're grabbing his under, you're losing 5% of advantage. Because if you're grabbing the overs or unders on Prizepicks, you're getting the exact same payout. So you might as well lean towards the outcome that is more favorable. And you know this because we just looked on sportsbooks. You're looking for what's paying you less on the sportsbooks because that is going to be the good value pick. Now that's just the example for Blaze, but it's the same thing for Christian Walker. He's more juiced towards the over. His over is more likely to happen. And on Gurriel, you're kind of forced to take the over because it's a demon prop, but it pairs perfectly with the other two props. So that's why we're taking him within the entry, and we get a boosted payout to 38x once the slip is complete. Now to end it off, we're going with a positive expected value play, and what that means is essentially we're looking for props that hit at about a 54 to 55% win rate. And as I showed you with Blaze, he's kind of at a 52%. It's not exactly positive expected value, but because we're stacking it with players from the same team, it creates this correlation between the players that gives you that positive EV. So the last pick, we want to find that 54 to 55% hit rate. We can actually see that for San Fran's pitcher here, Kyle Harrison, on the over 16.5 pitching outs. This pick has absolutely nothing to do with any of the other 5 picks, but if we go and check on Pinnacle, once again, you're going to see this heavy juice. So minus 147. As I said with the other pick, the higher the minus, the more likely something is to happen. So you have to put down $147 just to win $100. They're basically taxing you a very heavy amount to play this over pitching outs. On Prizepicks, like I said, when you're going under or over, it doesn't matter. So we want to be leaning towards the over, of course, because we know by the odds that the sportsbooks are offering, it's the more likely outcome to happen. If we see the calculation of minus 147 and 101, there's about a 54.5% chance that Kyle Harrison here goes over his 16.5 pitching outs. So this is the full slip, a nice positive EV play, a triple stack and a double stack within CS2. Let's keep this streak going, guys.